to share my screen now.
One minute.
Okay. All right. You folks can see the screen?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
All right. So we have learned, I think, till now the basics of and beyond the basics of various pieces like bishops, knights, queen, rook. We also learned about castling, en passant. What else we learned? Check and mate, right? Various rules of check, various what are the ways in which check can be.
So I was not there that time.
Okay, but I think you can catch up on the handouts that I had given, so you can you will get that.
I've joined it. However,
Yeah.
because they are telling it's on protection. You can join outer
You can't join out for what, on Zoom or what? Which way?
Zoom. You can join office Zoom and join outer Zoom.
I don't know what is outer Zoom, but
In the Zoom, which is not used in the office.
okay. That maybe your dad's laptop might have controls, or this
Yes,
one.
it's office laptop.
Yeah. Okay, that's okay. Fine. So okay,
But
we will.
we have done it. We
Yeah.
have done the problem.
Right. Okay, so we will start going ahead. See, now it is important to look at uh, how to open the game. Okay, when you are playing and when you are starting. So these are the principles. I think I have alluded to them in my previous classes, but here I am just putting out 5 points. If you remember these 5 points in your games to start with, okay, and later on it will become more elaborate tips and rules will come. But right now, what you should limit yourself to is these 5 rules. If you limit it, you can start in a reasonably good way, and you can get good games with whoever is your opponent, maybe your brother, sister, or friend, or dad, mom, or whoever. You can play. See, the important point is open with your E and D pawns, right, in front of your king and queen. And why we have seen it? Because those pawns open up various diagonals for both the bishops, the queen, and also they take a stake in the center. We had seen the importance of the center, right? And they put yourself, they take, you get a share of the center, you get some control, one pawn in the center, you can attacking some other squares in the center, right? That is what you get it. uh, the second principle is develop the knights before anything else, in the sense that along with 1 or 2 pawn moves, you should also develop your knights.
Move
And
your knights.
yeah, and to your natural squares. Okay, so let me just check 1 second. Just 1 second. Huh? Hey, Abhishek, yeah, it is on. You can join. Zoom is on, and there is a no. ID is different every time. Now there is a dynamic ID, so you can just check on the WhatsApp group. So okay, yeah. So what we are saying is knights to their natural squares, F3 and C3. Okay, for the white, and we'll see this. What I mean. Let me go to yeah, here. Let me open a new board. What we mean is open the E or the D pawns, both for both and white or for black, right? For example, I will E4. Yeah, this is a good move we have seen.
Yes.
And E5 is also a good move. E6 is also a good move, where the plan is that when white plays D4, because given the chance, you will want to put both the pawns at the center. Okay, given if black allows you or the opponent allows you. But then black says, okay, I'm allowing you, but I'm also putting at least one pawn back in the center with the support of my other pawn. Right? This way is also playing is good. Okay,
so if I takes F3,
f3 is no, you should move your knight to f3. Okay, that's a good move. That's what I mean by saying that natural squares of the knights, which are at f3 and c3. This is the natural square for the other knight, right? Similarly, this square and this square are good
C6.
squares for the black's
What?
knights. Okay. So now, but I'm not saying that you move it here, you move f3. Here it might be, if this is the position, then it is better that white plays knight to c3, because then,
Yes. It attacks a pawn.
yeah, it attacks a pawn, and if black takes this, then white can again take it back.
Yes.
So this is the way to play. Okay, but you got the idea. Now maybe black will play this knight f6 here. Okay, okay, this is a okay way to develop. But imagine or remember that develop the knights first before your bishops. Okay, try to develop your knights first before the bishops. Important thing to remember is which pawns are attacked, and if your pawn is attacked, then you have to support it, right? Otherwise you will lose it. On the other hand, if you are attacking your opponent's pawn and he has not defended it properly, then you can kill it, right? You can kill it for free,
Yes.
right? So be aware of that and do that, and develop. Then the next rule is develop at least one bishop before you move the queen. See, it's not a good idea to move queen early, because it can come under attack, and we'll see some examples of it later on. But the rule is this: try to develop both your knights, at least one bishop, before you take out the queen.
Yes.
Okay. And the fifth point is that prepare to castle your king. We had seen the ways of castling king side, castling queen side, etc. In last class. So prepare to castle the king. So because that will give you safety of the king, right? So if these five things only you remember right now, and that is enough for you for to play a good opening moves. You don't have to what you call make by heart various openings, but remember these things. And now we will see basically now this second the diagram that you see, right? It is showing an example of how to play or how not to play, right? See, what black has done is it has moved both his side pawns and developed both his knights to the side of the board, which is clearly not a good way to play, right? On the other hand, white has moved both his central pawns, developed both his knights to their natural square. This is an excellent way to start. Now you can have a pretty good game, and maybe you will be able to attack excellently against black, the white side. Okay, so so this is the basic principles of opening. There are more advanced ones, but I'm just explain them more in this. See, the aim of the opening is to get as many of your forces into what you call into play, which means that they should come out, they should start exercising their control over the board, maybe attack some squares, need not have to take anything immediately, but they are attacking, right? So that should be the aim in the opening, to not just one or two, but all your pieces, which mean that both knights, hopefully both bishops, maybe one queen, right? That should come into play. They should have scope uh, to attack or to exercise their force, right? So this is the way before you start attacking, before you start going against the opponent, say, and attacking, threatening his king, etc. You should get all your pieces out so that they can participate in it. Okay. The third point, we have already seen it multiple times. Knight on the, it is there is a way to remember this. Knight on the rim is dim, right? We had seen that half of the power is wasted if the knight is on the edge of the board, right?
Yes.
Then we saw the natural squares of the knights are f3 and c3 for white, and
F6 and C3 for black.
for black. Yeah. And as we saw, I think last time, these squares are very important, because say from c3 of the white, it is
Attacking the
it is
pawn.
defending this. It is defending this. It is attacking this, and it is having a eye on this square where it given a chance it will jump there, and from there it can start threatening the c7 square, right? Not on its own, but imagine if later on if this bishop on c1 is, if that bishop is on f5 later on here, okay, then in that case the bishop will be pointing in this direction, and the knight can combine with the bishop. Knight can go to b5, and from b5 then the knight and bishop together can attack the c7 pawn, right? And you know what happens if the knight lands on the c7 pawn?
Fork with the king and the rook.
Correct, it gives a check. Knight forks the
Double
king and the
attack.
rook. Yes, it is. It's a type of double attack where it will give a check to the king. King has to move, and on the next move, the knight will take this rook on a8. Right. So some of you might have seen this already happening in your games, right? But these are similarly. The other thing that it does is it also defends the bishop. Sometimes this bishop is there, this bishop, this will go here on this square of b5, okay, and in which case the knight is also putting an additional defense against that bishop. So there are multi-purpose moves, this f3 and c3. So these are all important. So yeah, Akshay, no problem. I think welcome. So all right. So what we were, let me go back to the handout. So these are the natural squares for the knight. We have seen for white as well as for black. We covered this part. We covered this part also. G4 and B4 for black, and G5 and B5 for white. Right? Excellent squares. And also these natural developing moves for the bishop. We said that white bishop, if it comes to c4, like he has come in this position, then it is attacking this f7 square against the king, and that's a generally a good attacking position. Similarly, the black's dark squared bishop has come to c5, and it is pointing towards f2 here,
F2, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
F2, that is again a this one again is a
Good attack.
good attacking this, right? So this way, if you play, so this is a good way. So for example, now this one, I think this position is a both white and black have played well. Okay, they have brought out 1-1 pawn on the e file. White has defended it with a d3 pawn. The knight on f3 is a good position. Black has got both his knights on f6 and c6. White has got his bishop on c4, black has got his bishop on c5. It has gone well. Now white is also played c3. What white intends to play is, with the support of this c3 pawn, white wants to put his d3 pawn to d4 next move. Okay, and what is white's idea is that if black exchanges this pawn using the e pawn, then he will take back with the, not with the knight, but with the c3 pawn on d4, and he will have two pawns in the center. That is what white wants to do. Okay, if he able to put it safely, then he will get a very good advantage. Okay, that's the idea. All right. So this is how openings are played, and I think we have seen in some of the games that we saw till now how the knights jumped, how the bishops attacked at key squares, and it was taken advantage of, right? So this I'm going to share this handout with you folks on WhatsApp group. You can take it, you can take a print if you want, and I've also shown some sample games on the other side, which on page 2, which we have seen it already. So I'm not going to again show them, but we had seen them in various classes before that, how this scholars mate, right? Bishop and the queen combining the attack on f7 square here, right? Or the discovered check, we had seen it once. where the knight, white queen is there behind the pawn, and the king of black is under severe attack. The knight jumps and makes way for winning the black's queen. Right, we had seen it. Right. Then I have shown some examples also, which again we had seen it various in the beginning. I think fool's mate. This first position is like a fool's mate. We had seen it where white gets checkmated in two moves because white moves the side pawns. Right, game one. Game one is this one here. White plays f4, black plays e6, white plays g4, which is a very bad move. Double question mark means bad move because that leads to checkmate. Queen just comes to h4. So
And that's a
And a
mate.
checkmate.
and it's a
Fool's
checkmate,
mate.
right? So that we saw was a fool's mate. And similarly, the game number 2 is also similar, but fool's mate against black, where almost similar, but black is making that mistake, right?
The same.
Then
Okay.
yes, someone was asking some question.
Is it the same thing but in a different way?
Yeah, it is slightly different because it is white is playing first, so white here plays e4, right? So that's why I'm thinking once you see it, your mind should take the pattern in. Pattern can happen on both sides, whether it is white or black, and maybe on king side or queen side also, right? So it is important to get it into the pattern. Here what happens is game 2, white plays e4, black plays f g5, okay?
G5, yeah.
G5.
White plays nc3, black plays f5. Now f5 is a very bad move because it is opening the king for the attack along the diagonal, right?
And then the queen will go to
h5, h5, yes, queen goes, white queen goes to h5, right here, this square,
And it gives
yeah, here, and then along this diagonal here it is checking the king, and there is nothing to defend it with, right? So again, if you see back, why did this happen? White in the first game, white moved the side pawns instead of the e and d pawns.
E and D pawns, yeah.
Similarly, black here moved side pawns instead of in game 2, right? So if they had followed the opening principles properly, which we saw, it would not have been possible. Okay. For example, I'll just show you what I mean. Not only is the moving the side pawns, but if in this position, if white had his knight first game, okay, white had his knight at f3, okay, white had developed his knight at f3, the queen could not have come to h4 and given check because knight is controlling that square. Can you see from f3, the knight controls this square h4, right? This one. If the knight is at f3, then h4 is not possible for the queen. Similarly for black, if he's in the second game, if the black knight was properly positioned on this f6 square, then white could not deliver the checkmate. Okay. So this is illustration of the okay, I think. So illustration of the way of why we should move, why are the opening principles the way they are. Right? Now, what is the third game? Let us look at it. d4, white plays the pawn on in front of the queen by 2 squares here. Black plays the knight to f6. Okay, so far so good. White plays his bishop out against the knight, bishop g5. Okay.
Yeah. And then black moves pawn to
c6.
C6. Yeah, sorry.
Pawn to c6. Okay, fine. Okay, I am seeing what is happening. Now white naively plays e3. He thinks that there is it's okay, means I'm just defending my pawn on d4, and it is a e pawn, which is correct, which is opening principle. But sometimes while following the principles, you also have to just look at what can happen. Now what can happen in this game is
The queen can move to a5.
yeah, queen can come to a5, and it's a double attack. It's a check against the king at e1, and it is also from here, from a5, it is also attacking the bishop directly. And what is happening is, normally if you have played e3, so the bishop cannot come back also to d2 here.
Yeah.
If you had not played e3, then the same bishop you would have brought back
Brought back.
and defended the check. But now that is not possible because you have played e3.
E3. Now you can't bring the bishop back.
Yeah, you can't bring it back, and there is a double attack, check plus attack against bishop. So you will have to
You
defend
can
against
play
the
your
check. Now the black
You
queen
can-
will take the white bishop. On which move? On fourth move. So fourth move, if you win an extra bishop, which is worth 3 points, then as per the chess things, you should win the game. You should not give the chance to the opponent. If you are 3 points ahead, you should easily win the game, right? But it may not happen. I mean, if you play it, it may not happen that way, that you will always win from a point where you are one bishop ahead. And that is where the technique comes in. We'll learn it. What happens when, see, technique is like this. All of you probably watch cricket and are familiar with cricket, right? At least T20 you might have watched.
Yeah.
So in the T20 game, whatever, if you are batting second and in the last 4 overs, you have to score 24 runs. Okay.
Run a
Will
ball.
run a ball. Yeah. Will you win, or it will be a tough match?
Probably a win. Depends on the wickets.
Yeah, depends on the wicket. But
Yes,
assume that
yes.
you are only 3 wickets down or 4 wickets down, and there are 4
What-
overs left, 24 runs. Now, uh, as per the properly, if the teams are playing, then 95% or 98% of the time, the team will win easily, right? Run a ball 4
By
overs
hitting
is,
sixes.
no, not by hitting sixes. That's the thing.
By hitting one. It's a
Yeah,
run a ball.
just take a run a
Then
ball.
nibble.
Just
Just
Then
the
nibble one.
runs.
touch
One
and
Just
run,
the
go.
one run, one run.
runs.
Correct. And wait for, there will be some no ball, there will be some wide
Yes.
ball, and you will get it. You don't have to
One
take
run, one run, one run.
correct. But the important point is, you don't take any risks. If you try to hit a 6, you may be getting caught, right? Either at the
Or
boundary or at somewhere, or you might mistime it and you might get a clean bowled or
so
whatever.
if it's a fast ball, the 6 can go very fast. And
Yeah,
if
but
it's not a fast, it's a like slow ball,
yeah.
the 6 can go, or it's a wicket.
Yeah, wicket can also happen. But what I'm driving is, so if the team is very smart, right, it will not take risks. It will just take singles where there is no risk of losing any wicket, and it will win, right? So that is called as technique. So similarly in chess, let me see if I have got that principle. I had put it in one of the handouts. Just give me 1 second.
Actually, I'm
Uh,
a captain of a cricket in our school.
Okay, that is nice to know. Good, good, good. Let me bring out and show you what I had put in a.
At least you have cricket in school.
Okay, I think I had said. Okay, after this, I had said, oh, not in this. Then which there was. Okay, okay. Here is the thing.
Son, no. This
What I had said is, this is the technique for winning in chess.
Yeah.
Get
You
all
have
your
explained
pieces up,
this.
right? Get all
Slap
your
all your pieces. You're
get
winning.
all your pieces. Then second is, win
Win
as many
pieces.
pieces as you can, which means that, like we saw in the game, if you are one bishop ahead, right, then you are in a good position, right? So win at least one piece. If you can win it, then comes the technique part. If this part has happened, then I think the technique to win is, so if you are one bishop ahead or one knight ahead, then you exchange all the other pieces. Swap means exchange.
Yeah.
Queen for a queen, rook for a rook, knight for a knight, bishop for a bishop, whatever is the remaining. If you exchange everything, your opponent would have finished all his pieces. You would have got one extra knight or bishop. Okay. Now there are 2 ways again after this. Either whatever, you might be one bishop ahead, queen ahead, or rook ahead, or knight ahead. If you can checkmate the king, then you go ahead and try to checkmate. If that is not possible, then you promote one of your pawns to be a
To
queen.
get a queen.
Now, once you get a queen, then that is like a tremendous force. Then you should be able to checkmate.
Yeah, we should try to checkmate.
So, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
If we don't have any pawn, how can we promote?
That's a very good question. Who is that?
It's me.
Atharv?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh.
Atharv. So,
We cannot
very
come.
good question. So, I think so. When I said point 3, right, we have to remember swapping of pieces, not pawns, if you are ahead. So, the rule is this: if you are ahead, one piece or whatever, two pieces, then you try to keep the pawns on the board, but you exchange of all the pieces so that you will have enough pawns on the board that you can promote them to become a queen. Okay, and promoting will become much easier because if the opponent doesn't have any rook, queen, bishop, all of them have got exchanged off, then it is very difficult to stop the pawn from advancing and becoming a queen. We'll see that. Okay, so the trick is this. Okay, on the other hand, trick for the if you are behind, if your opponent has won a knight or a bishop against you and you are playing, then the trick is you should swap off as many pawns as possible. Okay, and then let the pieces get exchanged. Now what will happen is, last time we saw what might happen is, if all pawns are gone and your opponent, you have only a king left and opponent has only a king and a bishop, what is the result? It's a draw. So you are not going to lose. You are not going to lose. Right? Similarly, if there is only a knight and a king opponent has and you have only a king, it's still a draw. So you are not going to lose. So that is the technique. Okay. So if you are ahead, exchange of pieces, keep the pawns. Try to checkmate. If not possible, promote the pawn to a queen and then checkmate. Right? How to checkmate with a queen? We have seen it in the last class.
Yes.
Right? So now you see how I'm building up the technique for you, how to win. So we will step by step, we will learn all the techniques for winning. So that the first step is that you should know how to checkmate using a king and a queen against a lone king, opponent's lone king. You should be able to do it like blindfolded, out of the sleep, left-handed, whatever you call it. You should be able to do it easily. That is technique. If you get it, then you know that you can win like this, right? Then you learn slowly, then you will add more things to your arsenal. All right. So this,
Sir,
remember, yeah, go
are
ahead.
you doing the shooting or recording?
Yes, I am doing the recording. Thanks for reminding me. Yes, now I have made it a point that I don't stop it in the beginning. So good, that I will be able to push this video onto YouTube tomorrow. Okay, so so Atharva or anybody else, if you have missed the classes, any of my classes till now, I think except for one class I have recorded everything else. So as of now 4 videos are already uploaded. Today's will be the 5th one. One class I missed recording and one was about the chess king interface, so that's okay, that you don't necessarily.
Sir, I had missed the last class.
Okay, so last class, if you have missed it, I have already uploaded it on YouTube. I will share the link again on YouTube, on the WhatsApp group. You can watch it.
Sir, I watched the video already.
Okay, then it's good. Then you're already caught up. I hope then good. Oh, all right. So what we will do is now we will go back and we will try to see one game, right? So let's try to see one or two games. So what happens? White plays e4, black plays
E4.
e5,
E5.
e5, right?
Yeah.
White plays knight f3, good move.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
I think in my last chess class, I got one more move on only 2 files of E5 and E4.
e5 and e4. Okay.
It's just for pawns.
Okay.
It's a special move.
Okay.
I think I forgot it.
No, you are referring to en passant or you are referring to? Okay, we'll
No,
come
no.
to that. We'll come to that. Just hold on. We'll come to that. Okay. Fine. Now, what black plays? Black plays knight f6. Petrov's
Six.
defense. This is called as Petrov's defense, where it is
Both
counter
the
attack.
yes.
Correct.
Means
Yeah,
both
it's-
are attacking one pawn.
Yes, yes. Now, did we see this? Okay, let me see. Yes. White takes the pawn. Black defends it with his pawn first. I mean, throws back the knight first. He does not want the knight to be in an advanced position. Knight comes back. Tell me if we had seen this position already. Did we see this game already?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
Yeah,
yes, I
kind of.
think so. I think so. Yes, we saw it from the other side last week, right? Yes, we saw it. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Check
Yeah, it is
on
attacking the queen now, and if the queen moves, then it will take the c7 pawn and give her. So if the queen moves here, then this check, and queen is 4. And if the queen moves somewhere else, if queen moves to d7, then very simple, d3. D3 will win the knight, black knight on e4, because it is pinned against the king,
yes.
right?
What if the queen had moved to f6?
What if the queen had moved to f6? Then the knight will take it immediately to on f6. Can you see the knight is attacking f6?
Yeah.
So that is not possible, right? So I think this game I had seen it, maybe I forgot, and let me show you. Yeah, I think what I intended to show was this next. Okay, e4, e5, Petrov's defense, so it is going to be a counter-attacking move from black. Okay, white takes it. Black plays the. See, this time black does not play d6; it plays the other knight. Generally, that's a good move. Okay, and he's asking white whether you want to exchange of the knights. Okay.
In the next position, the black, if it takes the knight on e5,
Yes.
then what
So,
will happen?
f5.
no, that is the, but white is to move, so white will not allow. Yeah, so you are right that black is attacking the knight on e5, but white's choice, right? Either to defend it like this, for example, or defend it
Can
by
you
playing
play?
d4.
Can you play d4? Can you
Yeah, you
play
can play
knight
d4.
to?
Yeah, you can play
Yes.
d4 also. You can play d4 also. That is also a way to defend. Okay, but here in this game,
No,
what happens?
I meant to say I meant to say the knight to c4.
Oh, on white's turn. Okay, you are saying
Yeah.
on white's turn. Yeah, knight can play to c4. But what happens is, you have moved the knight first to f3, then to e5, then to c4. See, you are going to lag behind in development. You have only one pawn and one knight. Black has got two knights, and then next move again, black will open up maybe with the d pawn, and black will be slightly ahead in development. So you should, one more rule which I have not written in your initial things, but I'm going to add is, don't try to move the same piece more than once in the opening. Okay, definitely not more than twice. So that's a rule, not exactly rule like a legal rule, but it's a good way. I mean, it's a good practice, shows that you should not do it.
Sir, the knight should kill the black knight.
Yeah, so here white decides that, okay, I'm going to exchange the black knight. Okay, so black kills it with the pawn. Now white goes ahead, attacks the knight. Okay,
Can you?
yeah, what is the question? Yes.
Can you move the pawn from f2 to f4?
4. Yeah,
f4.
yeah. But what
Yeah.
would happen is, if you play this, then what black can is, this pawn is not defended right now. It's a central pawn.
No.
Black will be very
Then
happy to take.
if we play,
The pawn was your pawn was on e5, correct? Your pawn was
Oh.
on e5.
Oh, that, but then the knight was attacked, right? Black's turn to move. It was
Yeah.
black's turn to move. So now black moves here. Okay.
It's attacking the pawn now. It's a
Now,
double attack for the knight on the back.
Now you can
for
move
the
to
pawn.
F3. Now you can move to F3.
if you move
On
to
to
F3,
F3.
what did I say? It is not such a great idea to
No,
move to
no.
F3.
On the king side. On the king side. F3.
I know, but F3 is not a good idea to move the pawn to F3. You know why? Because you open the
There
diagonal
will be
against the
fools.
king. You open the diagonal against the king. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Queen can, for example, come here and give a check, right?
Correct.
So it is not such a great idea. Black can come under a good amount of attack. And do you know what will happen if you do this? To block
Yeah.
the check, knight will simply take this. Because
Then you
if you
will
take
move
back
the
with the
pawn.
knight, then you get the rook.
Queen. Yeah.
Queen will get the rook, which is much more valuable, right? So see, this what can happen. So white does not do this. White plays d3.
Yes.
Now see, black plays a very nice move, bishop c5. Okay, it is a developing move. At the same time, together they are the knight and bishop. I was telling you, right, how they can combine
Attacking
together
the
to attack.
F2 square,
Yes, they are attacking the
Yes.
F2 square here, right?
which does a
But
double attack on the
yeah,
rook
which
and the
double attack.
queen.
But
Yeah,
however,
it's a double attack.
but
On the rook and the queen.
yes, that is correct. But at this point, the knight itself is under attack. Have you seen this? See, black has not defended its knight. See, the knight was under attack by the d3 pawn. Black continued attacking with the bishop while ignoring the threat to his knight.
Oh,
So
so you mean the white can kill the knight now?
yeah, white can kill with the knight, right? Now what it is, white is one knight ahead, right? But there is a trick. Black was smart. Black was the expert player here, not the beginner, right? So what did black see? Why did he allow the knight to be taken?
So that the
That
queen can
could
take
be-
queen.
Queen takes queen, then the king will take queen. It is a simple exchange. Net result is your black will
No,
continue.
no,
to
no.
keep one knight.
Bishop can go to. Can bishop go to F? No.
so.
I'm getting confused.
Yeah, getting confused, but you have to
But
see.
if the queen takes the queen,
Queen to h4.
I think the king could take it.
H4
Yeah.
doesn't do anything because it's the G pawn is still there. G2 pawn hasn't moved up yet.
Bishop go to b4.
Bishop
And
goes
it
to
is-
b4. No, I will. Okay, so see what happens is I'll show you. See, queen in this position coming here, it doesn't achieve much. Okay, because you are not, this pawn at f2 has not moved yet. Okay, and white can simply, for example, play queen f3, and he's defending f2 pawn as well as defending the e4
But then
pawn.
he can take it. He takes
Right?
it. He takes
And
it.
it is white continues to be one knight ahead, right? So queen h4 does not allow much. Bishop to b4 is actually a bad move, not a good move.
Yeah.
Why?
So
Because
it gives a check.
yeah,
But
it
then you
gives a
can
check, but very
stop
easily.
it.
If required, white can easily stop like this. Or
Yes.
even better than that, remember what I had said. What is the idea?
It would take
If
the
you are
bishop.
ahead material, then exchange all the pieces. So white will do this. He's saying that, okay, let us exchange the bishops. And if you kill it, he will say one more thing. Oh, very good. I will
Knight will-
take it like this. Now let us exchange the queens also.
Yes.
And net what he will say, in the end game, if I am one knight ahead, he knows I will win, right? So that is the technique. So instead, what is the move? Why black sacrificed his knight?
F2, the pawn on
Yes,
F2.
but you have to see why. What happens with this? Bishop takes
The
f2.
The king.
The king can kill the bishop, can't it?
King can kill the
No, but
bishop.
the
You are
queen
right.
will be killed.
Nah, now you see this queen had only the support of the king. Now the king has moved away, then black
We
can
takes queen.
queen, and now black is one queen ahead in return for one knight
Knight.
and bishop. Not completely free, but one knight and one bishop. 3 into 2, 6 points versus queen, which
9
is
points.
9 points or 10 points. So now black is winning. right?
So, sir,
But-
the king could have moved on e2 square.
So what happens if the king, white is also not a complete dumb player. He says, oh, I see this, what you see. I am not going to move
Kill
this.
the bishop.
Kill the bishop. Now, if you exchange the queens, it is again an exchange and I am again one knight up. Can you see what is the move now for black?
The white squared bishop on g4.
Who is that? Tell me.
That's
Who is that? Who is that?
Madhura.
Madhura. Yes, you have spotted it. See, the bishop comes here, gives a check,
check.
and next move it will
Queen.
kill the queen.
Queen
There
takes
is nothing,
queen.
right? Because the king has to move, right? There is nothing to
Then we-
intervene in between the bishop and the king.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe the king can take this bishop. That's okay, but this one will take the queen, right?
That's also. That's.
So now black should win this game, right? So this is the game basically. Okay, so this is the game, and why? So black put. So this is called as a trap. Okay, when white attacked the knight with the d3, black played the bishop to c5 and laid a trap for white. So though you can technically take the knight, but it leads to loss of game because black wins this. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to close this and no this and let me see. Let me see whether we can see one more game.
Then.
Okay. So this expert is playing white and beginner is playing black in this game probably. Okay.
Okay.
So the expert plays e4
E4.
and
Black also
replied
plays
back
E4.
with
E4.
e5.
Then we.
Knight to f3. Now you have come to recognize this. Now here black plays a different opening. He defends this pawn. He does not counter attack. He does not defend it with his c6 knight.
Bishop.
He defends it with the d6 pawn. This is also okay. This is also an okay move. This is an old opening called Philidor's defense. It's somewhat passive, but it is completely okay. Completely okay. There is no wrong with it.
Then
So,
we could play.
Yes, what called white
knight. It could play knight c4.
Knight c3. White could have played knight to c3 or bishop to c4, but white decides to play d4. Okay, because moving both the central pawns, right? It's a good idea. I mean, even if he exchanges one, white will still have the e4 pawn in the center, which is a slight advantage. So
yes,
white plays this. Now black makes a slightly suspect move, knight to d7. He should have either moved knight to f6 or he should have made bishop to e7. Okay. But instead he plays this. Still seems okay because this knight is still
it was a good move for bishop to come to d7 because maybe the bishop on the white might go from f1 to
g5. No, f1 to g5. No.
b5.
So, yeah, b5. But you see, if you remember the opening principles, move your knights first and then your bishops. And that too, try to move your knights to the natural squares. Okay. So bishop d7 is okay, but sometimes it can become risky. It is always good to move your knights to the natural squares first. Okay. Now we'll see here the knight does move, but not to a natural square. And sometimes it is okay, but what happens here is bishop to c4. White plays bishop to c4. Okay. Good move. Yes. Why? Because it is attacking the
Last move it said it was a bad move. Last move.
Knight to d7. Knight to d7 is not exactly a bad move, but it is a suspect move. Okay, you have to be very careful when you do that.
It showed a question mark and exclamation.
Yeah, so that means that it is not a blunder, but it is a dubious move, as we call it, suspect move. Okay, so bishop to c4, a good move, right? And what does black play? He plays e to d4. E to d4. White immediately takes it with the queen. See, why it is okay for now the queen to come to d4? We said that queen should not move early, but it is
The
okay
bishop is
because
moving.
now this knight is not able to come to c6. Normally, when you play such a move, right, the knight, black immediately puts the knight to c6, attacks the queen, and gets one extra tempo, we call it, because it develops it with an attack. But here you have already moved the knight to, instead of c6, you have moved it to d7. Now the knight cannot come to c6 easily, so the queen will be able to remain on this square. And if it remains on this square, then it's a good score, strong square for the queen. We had said that it is a centralized queen, right? Central, when it is in the center, it puts out a lot of force everywhere, right? So black plays, now he develops the other knight to f6. Okay, so white also develops his knight to c3, natural square. Good. Bishop to e7. Again, you cannot fault this move. It is okay move, right? Black is preparing to castle. White plays the other bishop. Again, a decent move. See, both bishops have come out very nicely for white, and he can castle on either side. Did you notice that white has enabled his king to castle on either side depending on his choice?
Yeah.
It's a very good development. So black plays castle on the king side. Okay. Now, so this see, this is a very good way for white to play. Now, this is not ending the game, but I'm showing you what an ideal development for white looks like, right? This is a very good way to open your game, and then you play. Now you can castle on either side and get the rooks in the center and attack, right? I just wanted to show you how you can cleanly develop and achieve your opening objectives. Okay. Okay, I think there is some there is some trick to it. Huh? Okay, so bishop, there are some interesting variations. Okay, I will show you the variations in this game. Okay, if why is it? Okay, bishop c4, bishop e7. Okay, bishop e7. All right. So seems to be okay. So I'm just taking back. I think I was just showing you a variation where it would have happened. But here black plays bishop to e7 instead of taking the pawn. Okay, if that happens, then do you want to go back and see how it started? Okay, e4, e5, nf3, d6,
Oh,
e4,
that's so.
knight to d7, bishop to c4. So far we had seen it. Now black does not take the pawn if he plays bishop e7 here. Okay, then white takes this pawn. Okay, and waits for black to see what he plays. If he plays d to e5, if he takes back with the pawn, then can you see one strong move for white?
Yes.
White goes to d5, queen to d5,
Yes.
and attacks the
Attacking The weakest square for the
which
black.
is correct, f7 square, and queen is attacking with the help of the bishop, so it is actually threatening
Yes.
a
Checkmate.
checkmate on f7.
So the
Okay,
king. So even though if the king kills the queen, there's still the bishop behind it.
correct. So king actually cannot touch the queen because the bishop is supporting it. So now
Correct.
how to save? How
No
to
way.
save? There is
No,
only
knight to h6.
yeah, there is only one way
Yes.
to save is actually by sacrificing some material. See, this knight comes
Yes.
here and uh, see, normally we say you should not
Protects
do
the
this, but
square.
here there is no option. Why black has to do that? Because
Yes.
it is supporting the
Protecting the square or
pawn,
supporting.
right? But what does white do?
Kill the knight by the
Kill the
bishop.
knight. See,
Text.
you see
Bishop
why this
takes
was
knight.
possible, because the d pawn had moved. The diagonal
Yes.
was open for the bishop. So what bishop does is he kills the defender of the f7 pawn. Okay, now
That
what
is the
again?
game.
Now again white is threatening checkmate. Okay? So black does not have time to recapture the bishop. If he recaptures, then
It will be a mate.
it will be a mate,
Mate. Correct.
right?
But
So
couldn't you move the?
yeah, so black does not have the time to recapture. Black is forced to castle
Castle.
first, okay, so that he does not get checkmated. But now what white does is,
Kills the pawn.
no, kills the pawn
No.
would have been, he simply
Yeah.
goes back.
Blunder.
See, what is the idea? Can you see white is one knight ahead? Okay,
Yes.
so he wants to,
Oh no.
he is one knight ahead. He took the knight on h6, and after that his bishop simply retreats. Okay, now white is one full piece ahead, right? So he should be able to now employ the technique and exchange and
Win the win.
win easily, right? But we might want to go back and see all of this thing happened because black, when white took this pawn, black took back with the d pawn, right? Then that is
D
when
pawn.
the queen went ahead and started attacking the f7 square. What if knight what if knight had killed the pawn? Then also white would have been at least one pawn ahead, because what white would do, white would take this knight exchange. Black has no option other than taking with
Killing
the
it.
knight, right? Then what should white do? Not exchange the queens. White will queen h5 and double attack against
Okay, the
f7 as well
F7
as,
and E5.
that's correct, f7 and e5, right? So what to do? There is probably only one move, reasonable move, is play g6. But if you play g6, then
The pawn on E5 goes.
pawn on e5 goes, and the rook is attacked.
The
So
rook.
obviously black has to defend it by playing knight to f6. Okay, but white is one pawn ahead now. Can you see one pawn ahead at the bottom? It shows the net difference. So white is one
Yeah.
pawn ahead. So again, it has not a one game, but white has got a significant advantage.
Correct.
Okay, so this is the way that you play the openings. Okay, so it is important that the rules that I showed you here, not here, but maybe, where is that? Let me find, yeah, here, opening principles. These are very, very important to remember, and not remember for, I have given the detailed explanation, so don't uh, remember it just by heart, but remember it with reasoning. Why? Okay, then you will always, it is not like a rote learning. It is like, okay, I can see some chat may some, yeah, check, yeah, I think a lot of you were pinging me on the chat. Yes, that's correct. So what my advice is, uh, take a print of this, go through it 2 or 3 times so that you understand and remember this all the while these rules. Okay, and play your game. Now it is also important that, So I think how many of you are now playing online on Chess King?
Sir, I play.
Who is that?
Sometimes.
Sir, Akshay.
Hey, Akshay, good. And who else is playing?
I play sometimes.
Okay, you play sometimes. So good. And I can see somebody is also playing. Okay, Ahan also is playing. Good. Ahan is playing, and many of you. So I think you will have your games also.
Sir,
on
even
the...
I also play sometimes.
Oh, good. Very nice. So I think I had what I can do is I'm going to share tomorrow all of the user IDs so that whoever
So
are there in my
I play
class. Yes.
every game and 5 queen checkmate.
Okay, that is nice. Good.
I'm not going on level 2. I'm doing many checkmates, just showing you win, and I'm not going on level 2.
Okay. All right. And how are you doing on the capture pieces one? That thing, has anybody completed more than 100 puzzles on that?
Yeah.
Me,
I completed both the volumes.
Oh, both the volumes. So let me, I will check. That is Ahan, right? I will check your score. I can check it. Let me see. So 268 is the maximum available, freely available puzzles.
Yeah,
So,
so I've done all of them.
so let me see who has done the maximum. What I'm going to do is tomorrow I'm going to check and I'm going to post the top 3 folks' names. I'm going to publish it. Okay, those who have done the maximum puzzles. All right, so you have time, you do it, or maybe I will hold it till Sunday. I will you have time now, tomorrow use it, today and tomorrow, to get to the top, and on Sunday morning India time or noon India time I will publish the top 3 folks who have done the maximum puzzles.
I can
Okay.
do 400 in that time.
Oh, that is nice, but then I will
There's
suggest
only
that
268.
yeah, 268 are
games-
free, but whoever is completing it, I'm going to suggest the next course for them. Okay, so but the important part is you complete 268 first, then you go to the next one. So I will share it. There is enough problems to solve, and all of that is going to help you. Okay.
Actually, everything I just protect my pieces. I have to give my bishops. I forgot that every game is draw, but some I win.
Okay. Now we will see how to make headway into those kind of games in the next few sessions. Okay.
One day I was protecting all my pawns and I got 8 queens.
Okay, 8 queens. Huh? Okay, all right. Nice. I think
Queens?
you should just share that game. I think that game is saved on the Chess King site, so you should just share
Not
it.
on Chesskin, not on Chesskin. My father got me a magnetic chessboard, as well as I have a chessboard, that carpet one.
Okay.
My last chess where what I was doing, they
Okay.
gave us big
Okay.
pieces. My father also.
All right. So I think we have come to the end of the class. It is 10 p.m. here. So thanks for joining, and I hope you enjoyed it. And we will meet again on Sunday.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes,
Wednesday.
okay.
Sir,
Yes.
Bye bye.
Yes.
Bye,
Okay.
sir.
Bye. I'm going
See you.
to
Bye,
end
sir.
the class.
Giving
Bye.
me 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
bye, sir. Bye, sir.
Okay.
Bye.
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 All
Bye, sir.
Q.
Bye.
Meet you
Everyone
next
can
class.
do.
Yeah.
Everyone can do Alt Q for coming out. Alt Q would work.